And you guys can't even hear me because I was on mute. Fuck. Episode 341, the UFO Buster Radio News Report. I know what you guys are here for, to get rid of the anxiety for those that put their name down, their pictures together for the tinfoil hat contest numero dos, number 2. That's right. Hey, look, Blue Chicken's here already. What the heck? Welcome aboard, Blue Chicken. Listen, I just want to say this to the general public. If you're not sharing, you ain't caring. That's all I got to say. Now, I have no idea how the podcast is listened to in places like Finland. Yeah, don't know. But I thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. In Norway, there too. That's all I'm saying. Green Man's on the house, or in the house. Hopefully he's not on it, because it's kind of cold outside. Again, episode 341, we got some stuff to talk about, because it is the Thursday night freakout, and we got some freaking out to do. Honestly, the last episode, I think I should have just recorded it, and just played it for today, because I had a bit of a freakout on that one. I really did. And but that's just the way it is. That is what you get when you listen to UFO Buster Radio. It's not about your humdrum, let's talk about some guy's work that he's been studying Roswell for like 50 years. No, we're not going to do that. That time has passed on this podcast. We're not ready to go back. Well, this summer I am going back, actually. I'm going back to Roswell, taking you guys with me and anyone else that's listening around the world. As a matter of fact, if you guys are listening and you're not on Spreaker, you'll miss like live stuff. Like this podcast right now, it's live. Only if you're on Spreaker. Everybody else gets it, gets the rerun, if you will. But you need to join up for when the podcast goes to Roswell, because there's going to be a few live episodes. And I guarantee you, it's not scripted. Something's going to go down. I'm pretty sure. Absolutely. The other thing I want to say is, to continue the topic, don't forget to share the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitters, and anywhere that you feel someone should listen. I think the day that I feel that I've made it. And by the way, thanks to Blue Chicken for putting together kind of like a fan base chat group thing. I gotta say this, number one, I'm not worthy of something like that. Just a regular old Joe chatting the UFO thing up, shooting the breeze. And that's all I'm doing, basically. That's what I do. I give my opinion. Sometimes you agree with it, sometimes you don't. But the thing is that we should be, as they say, amicable to the idea that we have differences, and we shouldn't be shitting on each other and getting pissed off about it. I mean, that's just the way it is. Today we have the results of the tinfoil contest number 2. Yeah, it's going to happen today. So without further ado, I'm not even going to hold this up any longer. We're just going to get to it, because we have a winner. There was a panel of 6 judges, and they had a point system, and that's the way it went. So here we go. Tinfoil hat contest number 2. Starting with 4th place, and he's in the chat room right now, Blue Chicken. The judges loved your, how should I say, Baby Yoda creation. And you came in 4th place. You missed 3rd place by 2 points. by 2 points. So thank you for admitting that. We appreciate you and the work that you did to get that picture in there. In third place, Ronnie Dawson. Ronnie Dawson put in a last-minute tinfoil hat. And Ronnie, I gotta say, the judges said that that was scary. They were scared. They really felt like you went over to the dark side on that one. And no, you weren't protecting yourself from any radio waves. You were ready to do some probing. Number 2, Adam Baum. Now, he is the only contestant that actually had a video to go along with his tinfoil hat creation. And when I tell you, you've got to see the video, we're going to see if Adam Baum is going to let us put that into UBR Truth Seekers. But he was 1 point away from winning it all. Because in first place, it was Green Man. Now, here's what the judges said. Green Man's creation, not only did Green Man use all the tinfoil in his home in order to create his tinfoil hat, he actually had like some kind of LEDs in it. And I believe the quote was that there is a possibility that Green Man can not only do some probing at night with the lights in his tinfoil hat, he may be able to intercept fast radio bursts as well. Green Man, congratulations. As a matter of fact, because everyone did a great job and used some creativity to get that going, Green Man wins the $25 Amazon gift card. And the other guys from 2 all the way down to 4 will each get a $10 gift card from Amazon just for participating and throwing in your creativity into making this work. As a matter of fact, we, myself and the judges, we were so excited about this. We're thinking that maybe we should do this 2 more times for the next 2 quarters, and then have on the 4th quarter in the winter 1 big tinfoil hat face-off for all the winners for a significant grand prize. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll get that together and see if we can make it work. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for participating. If you're a member of UBR Truth Seekers, you'll be able to see their creations in there. If you're not, you got to get on Facebook and join the group. But if you want to see the winning one, let me tell you, Green Man's his picture, his aluminum for his tinfoil hat was so significant. When I put the picture in for the logo for this episode, the system won't even put it vertical. It actually turned it sideways. That is how much aluminum he used to get that tinfoil hat up. It's amazing. Thanks again to everyone for participating. Fantastic. As a matter of fact, I usually don't play any hip-hop, but there's this one song here that kind of says exactly what these guys went to, because they went into go mode. They got it done. So this is for you guys.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, don't play pretend. Aim off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Aim off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Aim off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Aim off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and my only know it take time. You can get it. Got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now. For my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in. I get it in, I get it in. And for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in. I get it in, I get it in.
By the way, speaking about mentions here, Zachariah, who is actually a listener who is here in Texas, Zachariah sent an email to me regarding the latest in the drone situation, UFO in Colorado. You guys remember that story from a few weeks ago? People were reporting 6-foot drones flying patterns out in Colorado. Zachariah, I can't talk about that right now. That's a bit of a freak out for me. It really is. That's going to start some shit, as they say. But we won't do it on this podcast. Probably on Sunday, I'll come back after the Dark Horde episode. So I'll come back on Saturday, and we'll get into that because that's the kind of stuff that just it drives me crazy. Oops, I said it again. The first article that we're going to talk about pretty much says, I think I'm almost a psychic now. I think I've been on the podcast for too long. Like I'm starting to predict things. Things are just coming true. They really are. The first article has to do what we talked about this past episode when I talked about that eventually someone is going to come out of the closet completely out and talk about how the fast burst radio signals are basically alien communication. And this guy, I almost kind of alluded to him in a way because one of the articles that I talked about in the last episode talked about be careful when a scientist comes out and talks about UFOs and aliens because they are not doing it from a professional stance. They're doing it because they believe in the topic, but they don't believe in it enough to, put their money where their mouth is. Not enough to employ the rigors of science in order to shut people up. But this guy might have done that. I don't know. Harvard professor, we know this guy very well, says deep space signal may be from alien civilization. The mysterious signal is repeating every 16 days. A Harvard researcher says it could be of artificial intelligence. Now, besides the fact that I went on a rant about this signal coming from 500 billion, a half a billion light years away, or 500 million light years away, besides, I went in this rant like, who really cares? What does it matter if this signal took a half a billion light year to get here? Why should we give a shit? Apparently, Avi Loeb, who is the chairman of the Harvard University Astronomy Department, he told Futurism, because no one else wants to fucking listen to him anymore, that this week he had one possibility that the signals are coming from alien civilizations. I tell you, once these FRB stories come out, as soon as it comes out, people run to their playbook and start screaming alien civilization. And that's what Avi did. sadly enough. And I was really excited because Avi was one of the ones that came out and started talking about Oumuamua, you know, that interstellar object, the first one that people actually talked about when it came to the science profession. He was the first one to come out and say, hey, there's something weird about that thing. It's not acting like any other, comet. Doesn't have a tail on it. There's something up here. If you want to know about that, just look up Avi. You'll find a lot of his madness on the internet. It's okay. Avi, it's okay. We care about you sometimes. So Avi says that these FRBs could be basically alien stuff, communication technology, something going on. And he even has another idea. And here's a quote from Avi in an email that he wrote to Futurism, because no one else will take the email. But at the moment, we do not have a smoking gun that clearly indicates the nature of FRBs. So all possibilities should be considered, including an artificial origin. And that's the one thing about him that I like. That is the one thing, and that is, he says you cannot rule out things like alien civilizations and technologies. You have to keep your mind open. If you're really a scientist, unless you put everything, geez, I've had too many shots already. Unless you put everything through the rigors of science, and you were able to undeniably rule out something like alien technology, another civilization, you just can't do it. You just can't. You're not being, quote unquote, scientific. You are basically neglecting your pocket protector. That's what he's saying. And he says it really is a concrete possibility that an extraterrestrial civilization could possibly even be using a beam of energy to propel cargo through space. And that is what the Canadians are picking up. Yeah. He also pointed out that he previously examined the specific concept in a 2017 paper. Well, like, is it on paperback, hardcover? I don't understand why he even wants to do that. Is he giving it out for free? But then in that paper, he also found that the energy required to move cargo with energy beams would be significant beyond anything that any project that mankind has ever attempted. Well, mankind is not 500 million light years away, so maybe there's somebody smarter out there. Basically, he says that it would take about as much energy as the entirety of the sun in order to get something moving, but also use the same amount of power that these FRBs are putting out. Now listen, these things have got to be significant in power. There is no doubt about that. For us to see these things and pick them up in our search of the sky from so far away. The last thing old Avi said, he said, this will require a huge engineering project, far more ambitious than the currently we have on Earth. No shit, we could barely get back to the moon. So the main technological challenge is in the huge power that the radio beam needs to carry. Like I predicted this, I feel like Nostradamus. Somebody send me $1 or two so I can predict the next time some shit goes wrong in your life, because I can do it. I predict. You guys don't believe me? Go to the last episode, 340. You'll see. I said it. Some rubber dicker is going to come out and claim alien civilization. Unfortunately for Avi Loeb, it turned out to be him. But thank goodness he's from Harvard, because people might even believe him. At least at Futurism they will. I don't know about anywhere else. The question here is, what do you think? Do you, as someone that's a listener to UFO Buster Radio, or someone that believes in alien technologies and alien life, do you believe it's possible that we are picking up signals from another civilization or an artificial source from 500 light years away? And again, the question in the backstory here is, who the hell cares? Who really cares? What does it matter to you or anybody else that actually picked up that signal? Like, I'd erase that shit. Like, if I'm sitting at my desk or some kind of observatory, or if I got my ears plugged into this massive computer that's listening for radio signals coming from space, and if that shit is more than maybe 10 light years away, I say, fuck it. Delete that shit. I'm not going to share that shit with people. That's fucking ridiculous. What a waste of time. Somebody, I don't know. Maybe it's just me that feels that way. Like, these guys could be looking for other things. Can they cure cancer? Maybe they can do that. Maybe they can fix, like, hypertension for people. I don't know. Something else. Put your efforts something else. Not in some shit that not even 10 of your generations will ever get an answer back from. It's just a waste of time, I think. But that's my opinion. If you want to read the rest of the article, now that I fucking ruined it for you, the link is in the description, so you may go in there and check it out and give some props to the Futurism folks for accepting the email from Avi Loeb. But hey, that's just the way it is now. We can't all be perfect like Ronnie Dawson. What's up, Ronnie? Ronnie's in the chat box. Yeah, Ronnie. Yes, indeed. And I can see Ronnie. Like, I would like to see, put Ronnie up there and have him listen for FRBs. I guarantee you, if Ronnie gets one that's more than 10 light years away, he will delete that shit. I guarantee you. It's not going to help anyone. Hey, Ronnie knows that. That's all I'm saying. Let's check out this track because, yeah, it's time. Friedman said, what if the fast radio bursts are a warning for us to stay away? I honestly think that 500 million years from now, There's not going to be no humanity. There's not going to be... Whoever's here on the planet in 500 million years probably will be in the infancy of their civilization and won't even fucking get the message. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I see in my head, to be honest. Yeah, true story. Now, I need you guys to freak out on this one because this has to do with another subject that is perfect for the freak out, but it's current events. Someone recently asked me, hey, when are you going to cover the UK release of UFO files to the public? And I said, never. That really was my answer. Besides Rendlesham, what is the most significant, most popular, most talked about and researched UFO incident in the UK? I don't fucking know. I really don't. Because everyone talks about Rendlesham, in every different angle possible. That is the go-to incident for the UK, as far as I know. Now, there might be other ones, right? There might be more credible, more fairly evidenced UFO situations, sightings, probings, that kind of stuff. But abductions, maybe. But Rendlesham is the only one that comes up. So when somebody says to me, do you want to cover the UK release of UFOs? My answer is, fuck no. And I didn't. Because what is there to cover? And we listened to the Popettes, the Nick, I was going to say Nick fucking Pope, but I don't want to offend those. Nick Pope, if we listen to him and what he did when he was part of the MOD, the Ministry of Defense, he said nothing was really significant while he was there in the broom closet that was 5 floors below street level. I swear to God, every time I think about Nick Pope, that's what I think they stuck him in a broom closet somewhere. And the janitor would come in and interrupt him every once in a while. Now, the first thing that happened to me when I was looking at this particular article, not necessarily about the UK, but mentioning the UK, there was a survey in here. And when I first read it, I thought it said Piplsay. I was like, what the hell do pimps? Why are they surveying pimps that slay about UFOs? That made no sense to me. I was thoroughly confused about this. I was like, that is jack the hell up. But it turns out it's not pimps and they're not slaying anything. It's actually Piplsay survey. Never heard of this. Piplsay. I don't know what this is. Anyway, the question for this particular article that was in a roundabout way looked at by Piplsay is when will the UFOs and their records and all that information that the United States had, when is that going to be released? Before we get into Piplsay, which I really think they should change the name of this survey to Pimpslay. That's all I'm saying. But let's really just talk about this. Before Piplsay gets into this and we dive into the numbers that they put out regarding UFOs and what Americans believe, let's really get into why the fuck does it matter. Now, listen, I've got a shitty ass attitude on the Thursday Freak Out, but that's what today is about. It's about talking shit. And we're going to do that. The truth is, why would anyone need the United States to release any information? What more do people need? What after the Tic-Tac situation, after all these sightings and reportings and historical evidence, what I call the enterprise type of sightings and UFOs and things like that. The legacy ones. What more do you need? I mean, you've got decades upon decades, even more than 100 years of UFO sightings and people getting probed and abducted and interdimensional beings coming through. Fuck, you even have Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, putting his NIDS team together to go down to Skinwalker Ranch and them reporting a bunch of craziness. They're a bunch of fucking scientists. What the hell else do you need? Why would any country need to release anything? Go to the fucking people. The people are telling you something's fucked up. I don't get it. I can't get no answers. And from what we've seen with the Tic-Tac incident, you're not going to get any fucking answers. Yeah, you'll get a shitty ass video for a few seconds, which you can't really make heads or tails of. But what we saw that by and large, people ignored it. Completely ignored a Tic-Tac video. Modern day UFO sighting, military incident, reported by military personnel, recorded on fucking video cameras and radar, and no one really gave two shits about it. They went back to Piplsay. That's really what happened. I think that's why the name kind of fits. So this is what Piplsay said, right? They're asking the question, when is it the United States is going to drop a load of classified information on UFOs? Which, again, I guarantee you that if they do, that it will be a bunch of redacted documents that will be of some of the most insignificant and useless UFO investigations or sightings by the government you could ever imagine. Nothing that is of any value to you, to me, or anyone else that has any interest in this will ever get released by the United States. You know, the Tic-Tac situation, the Go Fast video, and all those things are purely by accident, or was it? Gotta think about that. According to Piplsay, or Piplsay, as I like to call it, there was a survey that 23% out of 31,000 respondents claimed they have seen something they couldn't explain, and 27% think extraterrestrial entities are real. I would say that most of the people that listen to UFO Buster Radio feel that way in one way or another. I think Ronnie can chime in and say, yeah, I'm in that percentage. Why didn't the pimps give me the survey? I'd answer that shit. Yeah. Apparently these numbers, the 27% and the 34%, track pretty closely to what folks in the UK feel about the whole phenomena. And they even go as far as assuming that pretty much the rest of the world probably feels that way as well. Other survey results, less than a third of Americans in the survey believed in alien life. Well, there you go again. Well, you know, a third is still a big-ass fucking number. That's all I got to say. A full 58% think the U.S. government is investigating it. And why wouldn't? Let's just... Here you go. This is what I mean. Some shit should be fucking common sense. Like, really, if your government has a Tic-Tac fucking video and or that experience or that situation or something went down to that effect. Let's say you live, let's say my dad, we got Finland. Hope you're listening. Norway, listen up. If either one of your countries had this incident and they decided to just fucking let it go and not worry about it, you should leave the country. Honestly. Just fucking leave. Go join Igor Asherbelly and become an Asgardian. You get a free hammer, get a nice cape, and you go into a space station eventually one day. But you'll be free. Someone will give two fucks about alien life, and it might just be Igor over your country. The thing is, it's, as they say, it's elementary, my dear Watson. If your government can't protect you from unknown forces that are flying in the sky, and if they're not investigating it, keep your fucking taxes. Leave the country. Because you're fucked. Plain and simple. You can't put it any other way. You're fucked. Just leave. Leave. It's a smart thing to do. So yeah, I would think that more than 58% of people should think that the government is investigating it. It should be fucking 100% of people should think that about their government. Plain and simple. I'd be afraid of shit if I found out that the government was not investigating things like this. 61% are in favor of the United States government releasing its classified files. Really? Who cares? It's not going to help you. I guarantee you. You will get no answers. Period. How many answers have... I mean, the UK files have been out for some time. Anybody come up with anything good? Did anyone discover the holy grail of UFOs or encounters or probings or abductions? No. Not one thing. It is a waste of time. Stop pressuring your government to give you what it's not going to give you. It really is not. They would be ass backwards stupid to do that. No. Forget about it, as they say in the gangster world. So the rest of the article pretty much goes into, things like the Tic-Tac situation. And again, them saying that we should not refer to these as UFO, but as Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. And fuck, they throw drones into that shit too. Really, the government looks to confuse the fuck out of you. Yeah, they said, no, don't use UFOs. They're aerial phenomena. And we're going to include drones that fly by too, because we know they're drones, but they're unknown to us because we don't know where they come from. So again, I don't think it's disinformation, but it's basically, it's a card game. They're fucking with you. They know what they need to know. They're not going to tell you. No matter how much you cry and beg and submit FOIA requests for it, you ain't getting shit. But at the very least, you should know by now, after hundreds of years of UFO reports and incidents, you should feel at least confident that something is going on. The government's not going to tell you, but you should have enough evidence. Like if someone's stealing cookies from the fucking cookie jar, eventually you figure that shit out. They're not disappearing on themselves. That's like no one is just evaporating cookies on command. Some motherfucker's eating that shit in your house. So, as the government for your home, you'll patrol that shit. You'll set up cameras and figure out what the fuck's going on. But you don't have to tell everyone else in the house that they're eating the cookies now, do you? You don't want to start new shit. You don't want to start an uprising about the fucking cookies. Anyway, that's I'm trying to break it down to you, blue collar style. Come on, help me here. The rest of the article is linked in the description. Check it out. I mean, really, nobody gives two flying fucks about what the government says about UFOs. That's plain and simple. The only reason we know about the Tic-Tac because somebody stole the fucking video and gave it to Tom DeLonge. That's it. Otherwise, we wouldn't even know about the Tic-Tac situation. Lieutenant Commander Favorite would have just retired and going on into his happy times, going on vacation, playing golf and doing all that shit. And he might have told his golf buddies, but because it wasn't public knowledge, he wouldn't say anything. Not one single bit.
Some girls, they want the moon, handed down by this week's buffoon. But my heart makes no such demands. I've made this short list, please have a glance.
Ronnie says he's having some trouble with his internet. Ronnie, this next article is for you. So you gotta save your bucks because the internet's coming your way, whether you like it or not. The next batch of Starlink satellites, mind control, internet pumping satellites, are going up tomorrow. When I tell you, I've been saying this is my only conspiracy. I'll be honest, and it just came out of the fact that there was an article last week about the Neuralinks. And for those of you who don't know about it, I feel in my heart of hearts that good old Elon Musk is really rushing through getting the Starlinks up for a reason. It's not for the spirit chuckers or the poor folks of the world. It's not for those people who live in huts. No. Stop fucking around. They're not going to be able to pay the damn subscription. Are you serious? What are they going to pay it with? Huh? Come on. Tomorrow, the next set of Starlink is batch number 5. Another 60 is going up. And, you know, the story is Elon Musk is bringing the internet to the entire world. He's helping the needy get on the internets. That's why the Starlinks are so great. No. And for a moment, I believed that. I did. But then when I started seeing a few things. One, astronomers having a shit fit because the sky's changing. The sky is literally changing right before us. And anyone who did not take time to sit back on your patio or go out into the middle of the fucking woods and look up in the sky at night, you've lost an opportunity. And Elon Musk and SpaceX, they're not the only ones doing this, but he's the only one with the enough, as they say, cojones to do it now. He's got the money to do it, and he is going to fucking do it. This is what's happening. Tomorrow morning, I got the time here somewhere. Hold on. I was kind of reading the chat box and talking at the same time. So, at 10:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the next batch of 60 broadband satellites is heading up and into space. And it's sitting right now. The rocket's staged and sitting out at Cape Canaveral, ready to take off. The chances for it to take off right now are looking pretty good. Pretty flipping good as far as weather's concerned. So, you know, Elon's going to punt. I'm telling you, he is going to put the hammer. He's going to put the hammer down and make sure that thing takes off. So we'll have another batch. The theory is that people are getting together to sue SpaceX to stop this. I think that elections are coming up in the U.S., and there might be some rumblings to kind of put a kibosh on SpaceX. Because we've already seen new legislation that's being talked about that would kind of move SpaceX out of any running for anything and put that loser company, Boeing, and their fucked up spacecraft that can't even find space in the running to run things for the United States. I mean, fuck my life. It's all fucked up. It really is. But when I saw that SpaceX has a Neuralink device that's going to tap into your brain, get signals and shit, that is the apocalypse, man. That is the end of the world. Elon Musk is going to put several thousand of these Starlinks, and I guarantee you, mark my words, that Neuralink will be attached to the Starlink in one way or another. That is my ultimate conspiracy. Like, I don't even give a fuck if the government is hiding UFO information. No fucks are given at all. You guys, anyone in the world that believes in UFOs who has read 4 fucking articles should know that there's a situation. You don't need the government to lie to you to make you think there's a conspiracy, because there fucking is. But this whole thing about Elon connecting people and connecting them to Starlink, I think it's a real thing. I think that's what it's going to come down to. So no, we're not doing this to connect people in huts to porn. I don't think that's what the end game is. We're not looking to supply the poor and needy with internet. It's a cover story. Elon Musk is doing something else, and he's doing it quick. He is not fucking around. He's getting this stuff up, and he's getting it done now. Keep an eye out on this story. I think we're going to look back in about 10 years and we'll be like, motherfucker. He did it to us again. And then again, in 10 years, he'll be on his way to Mars on the Starship, and that's it. There was another news article that came out, and that was, I want to say it was about a day ago, that the moon situation for the Starship has been scrubbed. That presentation that we saw when Elon was in Boca Chica, where he gave us his vision of having a refueling starship connect to another starship, or having a base on the moon in order to, have like a forward station of operations for the Starship. Apparently that's all going to hell in the handbasket. And I guarantee you, these are the things that are getting Elon to get things moving ASAP. Because things are changing constantly. And if he doesn't get this done, someone's going to put the kibosh on his plans. And we may see Starship delayed in very, very short order this year. I want to thank everyone that joined the tinfoil hat contest. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to participate. This is the podcast for today. Like I said, I'm looking into making this a quarterly contest, and on the fourth quarter, having a battle of tinfoil between all of the winners from the first 3 quarters for some big unknown prize. And we'll see. It might just be a regular old probing for some of you. But I thank you again for listening. This is UFO Buster Radio, episode 341, coming to the end. And stay safe. Ciao. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. And we'll catch you this weekend. Don't forget the Dark Horde is on Saturday. We're going to recap the recent trip, the ghost tour to Galveston, Texas. God, that place is scary. But until then, ciao.
China. China, 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 China now, China, China. You know, China. I know China very well. China, 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 China. China, 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 China. You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. Right? Always from China. China, China. China.
Northwest Wisconsin, where I'm from.
It's China to me. China. 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 You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. Buy toys from China. China. Take from China. China. China now, China. You know, China. I know China very well.